Well, that kind of sucked. And the crazy part is, it didn't even actually suck. It just sucks because of the result, really. The Vancouver Canucks have lost the JT Miller Elias Pettersson Bowl of 2025 2-0 at Rogers Arena. The New York Rangers come into Vancouver off the heels of a very bad 5-1 loss to the Calgary Flames a few nights ago, and they beat Vancouver 2-0 to get revenge on these Western Canadian hockey teams. Meanwhile, JT Miller gets his video tribute, he wins some face-offs against Elias Pettersson, and on a night where a lot of folks were hyping up the Petey versus Miller debate one more time, you have yourselves Vancouver walking away disappointed and not on the scoreboard. Also, Conor Garland got hurt too, which definitely doesn't bode well at all for Vancouver and their hopes to continue throughout the year. Add that to the list, baby. Quinn Hughes, Filipino, Conor Garland, Niels Höglander, Derek Forbort, Victor Mancini, Teddy Bluger, Jonathan Lekkerimäki. 8 names right there. That is 3 defensemen, 5 forwards. That's an entire middle 6 that's out. Almost. And then if you look at the decor, I mean, Forbort, Hughes, and Victor Mancini. You could be halfway towards building a full lineup with the guys that are out right now. Isn't it great to be a Vancouver Canucks fan in 2025? Now, this game, 2-0 for New York over the Vancouver Canucks. The only goal scored that wasn't an empty net, it was a Mika Zibanejad cross crease where, honestly, it's hard to really put blame on anybody. Evander Kane was the guy who was technically on Mika Zibanejad coming back into the Canucks zone, as Will Cooley tried to send the puck cross crease on the rush. But really, when you look at how the play started there, I mean, Vancouver was caught a little bit up high, and defensive assignments weren't really all too clear at that moment. Elias Pettersson was deep into the play, and you had Lukas Reichel and Evander Kane both coming back trying to track properly, but none of them really did, and so the Rangers get themselves a really nice opportunity there with Will Cooley and Mika Zibanejad. It was kind of a scramble, and Zibby goes backdoor on Thatcher Demko, who otherwise was pretty good in this hockey game. The only other goal that ended up going in was a Sam Carrick empty netter, where for a split second we thought that Elias Pettersson might have been able to stop it on its track towards the empty net. But no. Never mind all the chances the Vancouver Canucks had in this hockey game as well. Lukas Reichel is snake-bitten as all hell. This guy is getting so many opportunities, point-blank looks with the puck by himself that are just getting either stopped or whiffed on, shoved wide. This guy can't bury it to save his life so far, even though he's been in some pretty good scoring chances to do so. The power play, Vancouver, you saw them try to get it over and get things going a little bit more, but yeah, they just couldn't get it done. Vancouver, ultimately, they have 23 shots in this game, but they cannot beat Jonathan Quick. It's Quick, man. Like, of course it's going to be Jonathan Quick. This guy was a menace against Vancouver all those years in LA, and now he's going out there and fully reestablishing himself as one of the best backups in hockey on a Rangers team that just collapses in front of him and lets him get all the long-range shots. Vancouver had a pretty set amount of offensive zone time in this one, and they had a lot of opportunities. They just could not beat Quick, nor that Rangers defense. And at the same time, it's like, yeah, you can be disappointed with this game, but it's hard to fully believe that the sky is falling. The team has so many injuries, and this is a lineup that was just assembled really today when you think about who was on the ice and who was playing with whom, etc., etc. I mean, Lukas Reichel is still a brand new Canuck in town. He just flew over here a few days ago. He hasn't had any finish. That's the biggest problem with him so far, and I think some Chicago fans are warning us about it, that this guy can't finish the play but he always gets himself into the right spots. We are definitely seeing that here. Once he just gets a little bit more confidence in his hands, and he starts to make the right decisions when in tight in front of the goal with the puck, we'll probably start to see Lukas Reichel deliver and produce in the ways like he was in Chicago. 4 points in 5 games to open up the season for Reichel with the Blackhawks. But ultimately, this is one of these games where I think the Vancouver Canucks, you can say, may have been doomed from the very beginning. I say that because earlier this morning, the Vancouver Canucks did have themselves a bag skate in practice, and a lot of folks were going out there and saying, wait a minute, why? Why is Adam Foote having the Canucks have a bag skate on a night where they're playing off in another game without Quinn Hughes, just X amount of hours after the game that they won without Quinn Hughes against the Edmonton Oilers? Does that not sound like counterproductive for a team that needs to get a little bit more rest after all this hockey and all this traveling? You don't have your best player. You don't have some of your top winger forecheckers. You're going to make them bag skate the day of a hockey game against the Rangers? Not that the pace was ever an issue for Vancouver, but something was up in the air. They just couldn't finish. And you have to wonder, what are the adjustments that are going to be made to address these? They got shut out by Jonathan Quick and a New York Rangers team that admittedly has been really good on the road, but they had a really bad stinker against Calgary. I mean, if there was a time to pounce on the Rangers, now was that time. And Vancouver totally fumbled away that chance, letting it through their fingertips as JT Miller walks out and has the last laugh in this situation. Not that that was the most important part of the game, but still. Conor Garland is out. I think that's the biggest thing here. Tom Wielander had his NHL debut. For the most part, I thought it was actually pretty solid. I don't think I can complain too much about Tom Wielander and how he was able to play. He was confident. He was stepping up in the play. He was going deep into the zone. He was not afraid to do what he instinctually wants to do. He's confident in his mobility, he's got great skating, he was able to recover. He didn't have any terrible moments, and I think that's the best part for a defenseman making his debut in the National Hockey League, and hopefully it's a sign for longer periods of success to come with this hockey team. Yeah, sure, it took injuries to Hughes, Forbort, and Mancini to open this roster spot up for Tom Wielander, but hey, you gotta get your opportunity somehow, right? And that's exactly what he had here. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the Vancouver Canucks loss to the New York Rangers 2-0 at Rogers Arena. The building looks deflated. The fans look lifeless. It's just really not a good experience, I'd say. Or, I mean, maybe the experience was fine. Rogers Arena always has really good in-game presentation, but the hockey game itself, oh, not a good one. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to hit the like button. If you didn't, the dislike button's down for you as well. I'll join you probably one more time for Montreal-Seattle, which is going to be ending in a few minutes here. But in regards to the Canucks, I hope you enjoyed this video. And bye.